Hey, what's going on YouTube? RetroPixel coming at you with a massive pickup video. This is stuff that I've accumulated over the past 6 or 9 months. I continually just kept putting it in piles and piles and piles. Trying to do individual pickup videos just never happened, so I'm just gonna do it all at once. This is more the highlights. There's a few things that I'm sure I've forgotten or put on the shelf already and just don't recall. And if it's anything that someone has given me over this time period and I don't remember to mention your name, I do apologize. Start off with probably one of the best grabs out of the whole year for me. For 2015, Crystal Xbox. It was $25 at a pawn shop. It is completely factory. It hasn't been tampered with or soft modded or anything. It's pure stock. So this was, like I said, this was one hell of a grab for me. I really wanted one of these anyways, and to get it for way less than its average selling price and no shipping, nothing. In terms of additional fees, this was spectacular for me. Throw this on the ground so I can get to the rest. Alrighty. Loose copy of Double Dragon for the Sega Master System. Zoda's Revenge, $30. And actually the same seller that I bought this from gave me Battle Chest for free, so that was alright. I think $30 for the two of these wasn't bad, although I don't think Battle Chest is really worth that much. Big want to cross off the list. Bonk's Revenge, complete. This was another really good buy that was on my to grab list. Monster in My Pocket. I don't know anything about this, but I think the guy charged me $5 for it, so I was like, screw it, I'll grab it for $5. If it's crap, then it's crap. Alrighty. Wings of War. I think this one actually does fetch a little bit more money than your average grab. I don't recall what I paid for this, but I know it wasn't that bad actually. And Haunting, starring Poltergeist. This is another one that I think is actually considered a pretty decent title. I think I gave the guy 25 or $30 for this, but being CIB, I think it actually goes for a bit more. Alrighty, this one here I played all the time as a kid, and I never owned it. It's one of those arcadey style games that I personally really enjoy, even though it's tough as nails. And it was only $5. Zoom. I really recommend checking this one out if you can find it. I think it's almost dirt cheap everywhere. I just don't commonly see it in the wild to actually grab. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. I think this one was $50. Yeah, this was $50. This was actually one of my more recent ones. I remember posting that on Facebook. Aladdin for the Super Nintendo. I really wanted this. Now that I have it, you know what? I personally think the Genesis version is a lot better. I know a lot of people would actually disagree with me on that, but just personal opinion. Alrighty, King Arthur and Knights of Justice. Disappointment. I thought I was getting King Arthur and Knights of the Round, I believe it's normally called, is what I rented before. I should have done a little bit of research when I was standing at the vendor booth before buying it. Not what I was expecting, don't really care for it. I will be ditching this at the next swap that I go to. Saturday Morning RPG from Limited Run Games. I really wanted this and the PS4 copy. It sold out literally within seconds when they posted this. There was like a second wave, if you will. I think they canceled a bunch of orders that people had made because they were trying to grab multiple copies for resale. Limited Run put a halt to that, and all the ones that were previously reserved, they put up again at a later date. And I was really fortunate to at least get this, because like I said, I added both versions to my cart, immediately checked out, and it came back with an error saying the PS4 copy was gone, so I just said, screw it, I gotta get this one before this one shows up as sold out also. And yeah, I was actually able to snag one, so that's fantastic. Alrighty, a memory card adapter. I was gonna actually screw around with this over Christmas break. I haven't done a thing with it yet. It's one of those things I accumulate crap. I'll eventually get to it one day. This was actually a swap with Jesus Kane. He actually threw in a memory card too, if I'm not mistaken, so that was an alright grab. I don't remember what I traded him, but it was stuff on my shelf or a collection bin of some sort that I didn't really care to keep anyways. So it was a win regardless, because I ended up with something different that I might actually utilize. Alrighty, Mega Man Legacy Collection. We already know what this is. You know what? It's actually pretty damn good. Is it worth buying this over the NES copies? I personally feel so, because obviously this is a hell of a lot cheaper. The trophies are a nice addition. Don't really care too much about that. But it's the online streaming that you can do directly off the console that really makes this shine. I like that part. Dragon's Lair on the 3DO. This was another huge hunt for me. I've been wanting this for years. I've come across it actually a hell of a lot more common for this than Zoom on the Genesis that I showed earlier. But people seem to just overcharge for it, and I'm not willing to pay that kind of price. This one's CIB was 20 bucks, and I thought that was a pretty fair deal. Alrighty, this one here is actually recommended, I believe, by J-Rock at some point, J-Rock the Game Rocker. Ghouls and Ghosts on the Sega Genesis. This is CIB, and unfortunately the damn cart does not work. I got burned on this one. It's nice to have the case and the manual so that I only have to get a loose cart in the future, but big disappointment not being able to actually play the damn thing, and I put quite a bit of time into trying to revive the cartridge. But that's kind of the risk with retro gaming. You're going to get burned somewhere down the road, whether it be a fake reproduction that you're just not aware of, or the damn thing might just not work. But you got to accept that as part of the hobby. Alrighty, Dracula Unleashed on the Sega CD. This was $7. I don't know anything about it. I just grabbed it because it was dirt cheap and the case was in really good condition. If it's garbage, at least I have a nice case. Slippy. This one here is actually a trade, local off of one of our buy, sell, swap site sort of things. This actually, I think, is semi-valuable. It's not like outrageously priced, but I think it did pretty good for what I actually swapped out. It was just crap on my shelf that, again, wasn't using, had no interest in ever playing it again, so I did alright with that. And as part of that deal, the guy actually threw in for free Eternal Champions on Sega CD, which I honestly don't know if this is any more or less decent than the cartridge version, but what the hell, one day I'll throw it in and amuse myself. Alrighty, I'm a sucker for nostalgia, obviously. The 20th anniversary PS4 controller. Yeah, it's overpriced. I think it was actually like an extra $10 on top of a regular PS4 controller, but damn it, this thing looks cool. I know I overpaid for it, and I accept it. It's pretty cool, though, I gotta say. Holding this in hand with the old school rainbow PlayStation logo for the button, it's got some nice little notches of history to it. And going to the other console, the Xbox One Elite controller. This thing is phenomenal. I actually paid for 95% of this with gift cards. I was a little apprehensive, thinking, holy crap, I just blew how much money on a joypad? You play with this thing for half an hour or so after you set it up, you won't want to go back to one without. The amount of customization on this, both software-wise and with the paddles or thumbsticks, if you will, I really don't care for the satellite dish sort of themed D-pad that came with it. I don't think I'll ever use that. Tried it for about 2 minutes, hated it. You got the removable paddles. The hair trigger stops. You know what? Now that I own it, I say yes, this is worth buying, but I never would have recommended it without actually having it hands-on first. Alrighty, the Fireman. This is obviously nothing that was ever really released here. It is a reproduction. That's mostly because I don't think this ever existed outside of Japan and possibly the PAL region. I'm 99.9% positive we never had it in the NTSC. It's a phenomenal game. I've been playing it on emulator for years because the only way I could do it. And normally I don't really go for reproductions at all, but when it's something that does not exist to literally buy or just stupid expensive, I'm okay with it. This one sadly does not say reproduction on it, which actually kind of did piss me off just a little bit. It says made in Canada, so most collectors that are out there that aren't really familiar with the history of this would know, hopefully, that this isn't legit. But yeah, I prefer my reproductions, the very few that I have, to actually state reproduction on it somewhere, somehow. Just because I feel that it really does help to cut down on people getting burned out in the community on buying these. Splatoon on the Wii U. Fantastic. Mario Kart 8 I got quite a few months before this. I didn't really include it in this video just because I've owned it for so long. But Splatoon, this is a phenomenal grab. This is like Nintendo's answer to the Call of Duty franchise, and it is so freaking fun. I can't recommend this enough. Alrighty, Ghost House on the Master System. This one's completely boxed. I don't know if this one's too rare or not, but damn it, it's actually pretty damn fun, I gotta say. This is one of the better Sega Master System grabs I've gotten over the past little period of time. Next up we have Wonder Boy. In Monsterland, no less. Sonic the Hedgehog, this is the original Master System copy. If you've played the Game Gear version, you've played this. It's decent, but I gotta say I like the other Sonic titles on the 16-bit platform quite a bit better. Alex Kidd in High Tech World. Super High Tech World. Can't go wrong with this. Honestly, I haven't played the damn thing yet. I'm just saying you can't go wrong with it because I think I paid like $4 for it. My Hero, the Sega card. This was actually given to me free with the little lot of Master System games there, with the exception of Sonic the Hedgehog. That was a separate purchase. But those other three that I showed, I paid for those, and the guy handed me this for free at the same time. So that was okay. And lastly, Bayonetta 2. This is still wrapped. I've heard nothing but positives about this. I will eventually get to it. It's going to be one of those things where I, have a week's worth of time off or something in the summer, that kind of thing. I'll probably just binge through it. And I actually was really happy to grab this when I found out it was being out of print, or at least out of print at that time. Nintendo re-released it as just Bayonetta 2, and this one has the original Bayonetta game disc included. So this is 2 games in 1, so that's alright. Anyways, that is a half year's worth, give or take, of my more notable grabs. That's about it. Nothing too expensive or fancy or exciting, to be honest. I can't believe you actually sat through the whole damn thing. Anyways, more coming at a later date. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Catch you next time.